What's up, y'all? Thank you for stepping into Diana's room. If this is your first time, my name is Nike, but you can call me Diana. If you're a returning subscriber, what's up? What do you do? Welcome back to another video, okay? In today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different than I've ever done, to be honest. So I'm going to be talking about the South African hit show Blood and Water. Blood and water.
You're special and she reckless. Remember, you're my bestest friend. Yeah, she my bestie.
And I can't get it out of my head. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that show. We're going to talk about all the drama that went down, the characters, the love triangles, our predictions for the next season, and basically like just weigh the whole show, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that show stressed the hell out. So let's get straight into this video and dish out everyone accordingly, because this season was a lot. So we are basically going to talk about the whole show altogether, because I kind of watched season 1 and season 2 at a go. Like I binged both of them because my friend has been trying to get me to watch it like since it actually dropped, but I was like, nah, it's not my style, it's not. And then the new season dropped and I'm like, you know what, I have nothing else to watch on Netflix, I might as well get into this Blood and Water. And I was so glad I did, because that show gave everything. So let's quickly run down everything that happened. Basically, the whole rundown of the show is the main character Puleng trying to find out who her sister was. Her sister was abducted at birth, so she was like playing detective the whole season and trying to find who her sister was. And that's basically the whole gist of the show. And it's just that that's a little mission to find who her sister was spiraled into a whole lot of things and caught so many people in her web, and then spilled so many secrets, and so much drama unfolded. So first of all, like season 1 was like, it was pretty dramatic, and it was like, oh wow, yeah, nothing could prepare me for the heights they were taking season 2 to. The stakes that they raised everything to in season 2 was just crazy. Like, this girl went across town, went to a state prison, went to a shady man's house, and she and Fikile could have actually gotten or killed in that place and no one would know what happened. Like, I couldn't wrap my head around how far she was willing to go to get the answer she needed. Like, she didn't care. She was going to cross anyone. She was going to do anything and just get it done. Like, she stressed me out. Can we just shout out to this show for not making us wait like 2 more seasons before actually giving us the answer we wanted? Who is Pume? Like, Loki, we all knew it was Fikile, but spoiler alert, oh, spoiler alert. So if you haven't watched the show, I suggest that, or I'm just sorry, because obviously there'll be spoilers here. Everything is happening pretty fast and you kind of have to keep up, because it's like you're running after them and you're trying to catch your breath because so much just keeps happening, and if you don't keep up, you miss out. So first things first, let's go into the main character, Puleng. Puleng was so stressful. She stressed me out so much. Like, I just couldn't understand her. Like, when does it stop for you? Like, the lying, the crossing, the selfishness, the boundaries. Like, all Puleng hears is go. She doesn't hear stop, she doesn't hear come, she just goes. Like, that is Puleng. And it was so stressful because she had a lot of people get caught in her mess, in her web, like trying to find this her sister or this matter. She just had everyone stressed. Like, literally, if you were in her life, there's no way you weren't getting stressed about what she was going through. Like, that was literally it. And she basically blew up Fikile's whole life in the bid of trying to find out what happened to her own family. Like, and that's why I say she's selfish. You blew up someone's life and you expect them not to react a certain way. Like, sis, like, especially that part where they actually confirmed that they were sisters and she was hugging her like, oh my God, I can't believe it. To me, I feel like that part was more like victory on Fikile's part, like, sorry, victory on Puleng's part, because I was like, oh, I was right, like all along my detective work wasn't in vain. Like, she was just happy that she had gotten to the end of it, but like, she didn't stop to think how Fikile must have been feeling. Like, that girl's whole life was basically a lie, and her parents were basically like crime lords. So like, what do you expect her to do? Yay, sister? Like, that part really pissed me off a little bit. And then there are many other situations where Puleng pissed me off, like the using her boyfriend, like when she basically forced KB to do his birthday in his family's lake house because she wanted to snoop around, like making him pull strings to get you a job. at his father's firm, like just so she could snoop around as well. Like she had no boundaries. Like she couldn't say, oh, this is my boyfriend, I don't want to drag him into my mess, I don't, because she kept him in the dark and everything. So you might as well just keep him in the dark about everything and don't use him for your agenda. She was relentless. It's an admirable trait, but at the same time, like it was very somehow. Like think about other people for a second, and that bit where he took her to his house, like what's going on with you, was trying to talk to her, and this girl bold-faced lied to him, and the next thing said she wanted to use the bathroom, and then went to the garage and started snooping again. And where KB's father pulled her from under the car, my God, my heart was in my mouth, because I was like, yep, she's dead. She's dead. We've gotten to the peak of the drama of this season. That was exactly how I felt in that moment. But like, I couldn't even go back to watch, because I think that was the end of a particular episode. I couldn't go back to watch the next episode like immediately. I had to breathe before I could watch the episode, because I was so scared what was going to happen to her. But like, at the end of the day, she did the damn thing. She actually got what she was looking for, and everything she did wasn't in vain. So yeah, other than that, her character was pretty like stressful to deal with. So let's move on to Fikile. Fikile was such a sweet girl, so sweet, but I feel like she basically never had a say in anything going on in her life. Like her life was basically other people's lives, like from her relationships, apart from my relationship with Sam, from her relationship to her family, to like the drama that erupted around her. Like everything was not her doing. Like she had no say in her life. She was stolen by her parents, from her birth parents, and like that wasn't her fault. That wasn't her choice. She didn't ask for that. But then she found herself in the family and she was happy, and the next thing, everything came out and there was nothing she could do. Like, bruh, her whole life was just like a lie. When Sam came along and Chris was really like overprotective and everything, like she never really stood up to Chris, like Chris chill. She just let everything happen. Like even when he was trying to flirt with her at first, and Chris was there like macho, like dreamy, she was just there like I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, speak, say something, like speak up. Like, she was also very unfair to Puleng in some cases. Like, even when she found out, when she saw Fikile, when she saw Puleng's, when she had seen Puleng's research and everything from her journal, like, you didn't even for one second think, okay, let me do my own digging and do my own part and blah, blah, blah. She just went, okay, I think she did a little bit, but at the same time, she was just treating Puleng like her enemy, and she just let her parents go through with the whole restraining order thing. Obviously, probably wasn't her idea. It was her parents, and she just let them run with it. Like, she literally just lets anybody run with anything with regards to her life, and that doesn't sit right with me. Like, it's refreshing that the Queen Bee wasn't like mean and unnecessarily obnoxious or anything like that, but Fikile needs to grow like a couple of bones and speak up for herself. Like, sis, come on, like, speak for yourself. Tell people no, tell people yes. Like, another reason why I said I felt like she was a bit unfair to Puleng was when Puleng had just moved to Parkhurst and she did the whole interview, and Wendy had twisted the whole interview. Like, I don't think Fikile ever faced Wendy properly. Like, I know you did this and that. I don't think she ever really did that. She was mostly focusing all her energy and hatred and anger towards Puleng, and that was just very unfair. But in the same breath, like, Puleng was really, really like weird. She was always around, always in her business. Something was just always up with Puleng around Fikile. So if I were Fikile, like, I would be, I'll be a little bit wary as well. I just wish like Fikile would get her own voice and stand up for her own self and not let people just suck her in and drag her left, right. Everything she did was almost like that. Like, oh, I don't really want to do it, but what the hell, let's do it. Like, girl, just stand up for yourself. Speak up, say what you want. Like, I don't know. I hope we'll see that in the new season, because she's stressing me out. I like to see who Fikile is in her own life rather than every other person's voice in her life. Like, the next character we're going to talk about is one of my faves, or my fave, KB. KB just makes me blush. Like, KB is just like, I mean, look at him. He's so fine. He's so dreamy. Everything about that guy. Like, bruh, I'm sorry. The whole cast is good looking, but you see that KB, I don't know where they pulled him from. I don't know what is in our soil in Africa that makes us so beautiful because that boy or that man, bruv, he's fine. Anyway, KB is really sweet. Even though he messed up at the end, we'll get to that, but like he was really sweet. It was a sweet boyfriend to Puleng. I liked how he liked her. I liked how he really wanted to be involved in her life. Like he really wanted to know what's going on. Like even though he knew there was some sort of drama going on in her life, like he didn't shy away from it. Like he literally almost like begged her to let him in, like let me in on your problems. I love that. And he was so sweet. Like even when they first had sex, which was Puleng's first time, he was so sweet about it. He was worried like she changed, like you changed after. Like he was just a sweet guy who was trying to cuddle with his girlfriend, have fun and enjoy it. But Puleng, on the other hand, didn't want to be a regular high school student. Like sometimes I literally wanted to carry her, shake her like this, like, sis, can't you just chill and be a regular high school student sometimes? But this is not about Puleng, this is about KB. He's a rich kid, but like he was a very decent human being. And like you would have expected them to drive his character a certain way, which was like kind of a theme throughout this show. Like you expect people to have this character, but like not really. Which was like what I was saying about Fikile being the queen bee, but not so outspoken and wild and in your face, kind of like how Wendy is. Then he is the rich kid, popular boy, fine boy, like you'd expect a certain level of dickedness, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all. But like he picked the most complicated girl in Parkhurst to attempt to do that with, and yeah. Now let's get to the part where he basically messed up. Basically, he let his insecurity get the best of him, and he thought it was the best idea for him to walk into the studio, give up his damn pinky ring to make a song called, a wax song by the way, called Gaslight. The song was trash, let's be honest, but like he was so proud of himself performing that song on stage. Basically, the song just called Puleng out on a character. Like he basically talked Puleng in that song. Like it was so disrespectful, it was so degrading, and bruh, that was just like so out of character and irritating. The same Beret in this song, he admitted to kissing Fix, who happened to be a sister by the way, and he thought it was a good idea to do that in presence of the whole school and then drop the mic like a bad guy. He irritated the life of me during this part because I was just like, it's not giving what you think it's giving. Like, stop that.
You look stupid, you look like a clown, you look very daft.
Stop that. Like, that's exactly how I felt in that moment. Like, and he really felt like he did something. That was the part that was busting my head. The fact that this thing was going on only in his head and he ran with it, and then he had the effrontery to do all of that drama, and he literally knew nothing about what he was talking about. That was the funniest part for me. Like, let me explain to you guys how stupid this guy is and the double standard in this whole situation. So Fikile and KB apparently had a thing. I'm guessing they were intimate or whatever, but like it didn't work out. They stayed best friends because they grew up together. Their parents are best friends, so they're still best friends. Then Puleng moves to Parkhurst. Wade becomes her best friend because like they bond on what they do, and he's her best friend. He's her day one, like Fikile is to you. You have probably slept with Fikile in the past, stayed friends with her. Then you cheated on Puleng with Fikile, stayed friends with her and kept it between yourselves. And yet somehow you are mad at Puleng for always hanging out with someone who is supposed to be her best friend.
Make it make sense.
It just doesn't make sense. It is like, it's so stupid. It is so stupid. On a normal day, like morality grounds, they should never be able to get back together. But like, I don't want them to force her and Wade because it's just not happening. It's a misfit. Like, I'm Team Puleng all the way. I don't know how he's going to redeem himself from all that. Maybe he needs to go and make a whole show about Puleng and praise her or something. And to be honest, it wasn't entirely his fault because he really wanted to be involved in her life. He knew something was going on. He wanted to be involved in it, but she couldn't tell him. Like, she was just so freaking secretive. Like, I wish she wasn't so tight-lipped about everything. Like, at least give him a hint, like, oh, you're working on something, blah, blah, blah. Like, let him in on it. Like, the way she let Wade in on everything. Like, I wish she did that for him. He won't have spiraled the way he did, but like, she really didn't let him in on much. So the guy just went with what was in his head. You can't entirely blame him, but the reaction he gave after the actions he took, that was where it was just like, nah, bro, like, it's over for me. It's quiet for you over here. Like, I'm still holding out hope for him. And I feel like we'll also see his character evolve into the whole detective thing because towards the end, he was getting interested in like his parents, their extracurriculars. So I think we'll kind of see that. But yeah, that's all I have to say about KB. The next characters I'll talk about are Reece and Chris. Reece and Chris, they kind of go well together. So for Reece, I really don't know what to say about Reece. Season 1, I was really confused about her character. Season 2, I was still confused about her character because it's like, I don't know what you're supposed to be given. Like, I don't know. But they kind of tried to like give her character more body and flesh it out. But still, I don't know, Reece. I think I just feel bad for her character because her mom was kind of mentally ill and, you know, she had to fend for herself, and then she started dealing to do that. And like, it sucks. She's just like 17 or 18, has to fend for herself and pay her mom's hospital bills. Like, it's so much for that age. At some point I was so scared that she was going to commit suicide, especially when their teacher defrauded them of the school's fundraiser money. And like, I felt so bad for her in that period, but I was so angry at how much they covered it up. Like, they weren't smart about it. They weren't doing anything to try to catch the man. The teacher was supposed to be like a treasurer in the whole fundraiser committee, and they basically jackpot with their own money, like the funds from the school, her business money. He went with every single thing. I thought they had all this money at their disposal. Like, why don't you hire a PI, something to just catch the man, like, and get at least a good amount of your money back? And then they just basically covered it up and made everyone work extra hard. By day, I mean she and Chris, by the way, to make some money back to bring the party to life. Like, that just really irritated me because there's no way I'm going to be doing more work for people who actually made the mistake. Like, take some responsibility. How is it my problem? But I guess it was just a movie, because in real life, I don't think anybody would do extra work for another person's mistake. But yeah, whatever. Like I said, her character, I guess it will develop some more in season 3. The way season 2 ended, like, you can tell that there's more coming for Reece, and then we'll see about that. Let's move to Chris. Chris was a jai guy. Like, he liked to party, he was this and that, but I don't like Chris. I really don't like Chris. He aggravates me, he irritates me. I can't even express all the feelings he makes me feel. Like, he was just a for no reason, and they tried to like grab us by the heartstrings to make us feel some kind of pity or something for him when they showed like his relationship with his parents and stuff. But like, nah, Chris is a dick. Like, he was never nice to Puleng. He was never nice to Sam, which by the way did nothing wrong to anybody. And he was also like a dick to KB. Every time KB tried to stand up for Puleng, like, that's his girlfriend. What do you expect him to do? Just not say anything or defend her? Like, the only good thing you can say about him is how much he loves his friends. Like, that part where Fikile said, "You're the only thing that's constant in my life." Like, when she said that to Chris, I think that is very much who Chris is. He loves his friends and is all about his friends. Like, because even when Reece was going through a whole BS with her mom, with her money being stolen and everything, he was basically the only one that paid enough attention to realize what, like, something was going on with her. Every other person, Fikile and Co, didn't really understand or look to her to see that something was wrong the way Chris did. That's the only accolade he's going to get from me. Really, I don't really like the guy. I don't look forward to seeing where, okay, he and Wendy's relationship kind of came at the end, but like, the whole we hate each other and now we're in love storyline is, I feel like it's just kind of played out. But like, we'll see where it goes. I kind of like them together. I feel like they will bring out good things from each other. But at the same time, I don't want her to get mixed in his shenanigans and his head that is all the way up in Fikile's because it's too much. Like, I understand trying to be protective of your friend or whatever, but his own was OD. Like, he punched Sam, he did all these things. Like, bruh, relax. Are you Fikile's bodyguard? Are you on payroll? Like, what is your deal? What's your problem? Can it hear? Another good thing I'll say is during the auction where he kind of like bid for Wendy. Other than that, I think that's that about Chris. I don't have that much to say about him. Speaking of Wendy, I like Wendy's character, but she was also too intense for no damn reason. Like, there's no reason to be so damn aggressive, so intense all the time. And we don't really understand the cause she's fighting for. Like, her cause is kind of lost on me. The part where Fikile kind of called her out on her privilege and her trying to be something she's not really, like, I love that part. It was just like, it was the best shut up moment for Wendy that was just amazing to watch. Like, I love that part so much because she really kept quiet. She kept quiet and buried her face in a book. And I don't know why she felt the need to always be in the lead. Like, and if she wasn't going to lead, she can't be there. Like, their whole publishing committee or whatever it's called, she left because she was no longer editor. Like, sis, at least she started something nice, but like, sis, like, do you always have to be in charge? Like, why do you feel the need to always be in control? But other than that, the girl was beautiful. Like, she was beautiful, serving looks. Like, that part where they were doing the car wash to raise money and she had a bikini and a bum shot. They're fine for no reason on this show. I'm not even going to lie. There was also a part Puleng had a bikini top and bum shot on and KB came into the room. You know that part where the video said,
"When I look into her eyes, all I see is your waist."
I think that was what happened to KB. That was when KB knew I had to pull this chick. And I think that was probably the same thing that happened to Chris. Bro, she looked too good in that part. I'm not even going to lie. Like, her body, everything was just sitting. She gets. I appreciated it so much. And then there was also a bit of character development. Like I said, I'm not so crazy about her and Chris's enemies turn lovers storyline, but we'll see where it goes. I'm guessing after Chris lays down the pipe on her a couple of times, maybe she'll finally calm down and stop being over aggy about everything. Like, I'm nasty. She seems like she needs it in her life. So yeah, we'll see about that. The part where nobody bid for her at the auction was just irritating because in my mind, I'm like, anybody in this crowd should come out and show me what they look like because they don't look as good as Wendy. Like, beautiful African queen. Are you kidding me? And all of you were quiet, being stupid. But if you were a student and you were in the school with her, you'd probably be like that. She was actually very intense and obviously not very liked by many people. So I guess she didn't deserve it, but I guess she kind of did. So this brings me to one of my least favorite topics, which is Wade. Wade is like a box, or like a very beautiful box, wrapped with the prettiest bow, beautiful pastel colors, like just looking so beautiful on the outside, and then you open it and it's just like inside. Like, that's how I feel about Wade. I feel like Wade is wrapped up in the cutest face and smile and softest voice and everything. Hear me out, I'll explain why. Basically, Wade is sweet to Puleng. He's nice, he's like down for shenanigans, ready to go across country for her, he's ready to do this and do that and basically be there for her in general. But to me, if you're not just doing that for doing that sake and for being my friend, Wade and Puleng's situation is such a trigger for me because I feel like everything he did only because he liked her and he wanted her. To me, it's like the friendship is fake because the moment KB came into the picture and someone else had attention in that aspect, he switched up on her. That's when he decided to talk about his feelings and blah, blah, blah. First of all, you had these feelings by yourself. I didn't do anything about it. Like, Puleng was just being his friend. They spent, like, that was literally the only thing they had in common. The detective work they did together, which if he never caught her, should have never told him. But like, I'm glad that happened because at least she had someone she could like offload to every now and again. But that was basically the basis of your relationship. And a guy had fallen in love in his head and he was waiting for Puleng to come into his chest and dig out the words. Like, bruh. First of all, he never really expressed how he felt to Puleng ever until KB came into the picture. And the moment he did and there was KB and everything, he just started giving an attitude. And it was just like, bruh, so all this our friendship, everything we've done together is basically null and void because now I'm with someone else. So you were only my friend and helping me out because you were waiting for your turn. Is that what it is? Like, it's only because you like me you're doing it. That means you're not a genuine friend to me because I feel like a lot of girls can relate to this because they always have those guys that are your friends but secretly like you. And then the moment they can have you, the friendship is dead. Like, why does it have to be like that? First of all, I'm not responsible for your feelings and you didn't even communicate them to me. Well, we'll be like, okay, bros, I'm going to give you space to fill out what you're feeling and then we'll see where we can pick up our friendship from then on. No, he just flat out went to an attitude. And The way he treated Tahira, like she didn't deserve that. Tahira was a babe. Like she's a babe. And then Wade, little old Wade, was treating her like shit. Because the only time he went to Tahira or tried to pursue things with Tahira was whenever he sees Puleng and KB together, or that one time he heard Puleng and KB talking about having sex and he went to meet Tahira by the pool. Like, leave her alone. Leave her alone. He needs to sort out his priorities, because definitely dragged Tahira into his mess. She didn't deserve that. And you can't entirely blame Puleng, because you're just spending time together as friends, doing things together as friends. He never had issues doing anything they were doing. So like, it's not fair that you act out because I got a boyfriend. Like, because what we had was a friendship. And I don't even know why in the end they tried to force Puleng and Wade. Like, they keep trying to make it happen, but like, stop trying to make fetch happen. It won't happen. Like, that's exactly how I feel about Wade and Puleng. It was never the victim Tahira was. So yeah. Let's move on to some smaller characters like Zama and Sam. Sam's character for me was like, I don't really get it, because it's almost like they introduced him for the sake of giving Fikile a love interest. Maybe we'll see more in season 3, but that's what it looks like to me, because I really didn't see their relationship build up. It just kind of happened. Like, to me, I didn't really see the chemistry, like the build up, you know, that tension that two characters that are building or trying to flirt and build things with each other always have. Theirs was kind of underwhelming for me. Like, it wasn't really giving me fire. It wasn't really giving me like electric. It was just like, meh. But I'm guessing this is not a love story. It's a crime story. So they didn't want to pay so much attention to all those things. I guess that's the only explanation that makes sense, because I really didn't see their chemistry build up. It was just like dead flirting here, dead flirting there, and boom, they're in a relationship and they're kissing. But the only thing I do like about their relationship is, unlike KB and Puleng, where Puleng kept KB in the dark about every single thing, was not really like that with Sam. She kind of let him in on everything. Not everything, but like he always kind of knew something was going on, and then she kind of confided in him a little bit, and that was quite refreshing. Yeah, I'll say that's one bit I like about their relationship. And unfortunately for Fikile, he ghosted, not intentionally, but because of his mom, which sucked for him, because like the guy was just trying to be in a new school, be chill, have the baddest girl in the school, and you know, have a good time, have a good year. And his mom basically messed that up for him. Speaking of his mom, like, she was very foul. She was very foul. Like, the fact that I don't even know how she got mixed up with KB's dad in the first place and was doing all his dirty dealings. Like, then she got confronted and called out by her son, and then she was trying to justify, like, you don't know the life I've lived.
You don't know you don't know what I've had to do.
Like, sis, but everyone makes a choice. Like, you made this choice to do this thing. So what are you saying? And then the part that bust my head was the fact that he pretended to be like their school counselor, and then she was talking to Fikile about her problems. Basically, Fikile was telling everything that was supposed to be kept a secret to the people she didn't want to tell, which was like so unethical, like so bad. Like, I can't even express how bad that is. So Sam's mom, like, she's bad news to me. I don't like her. And then we move on to Zama. I love Zama. She's unapologetically herself. She's colorful. She comes into a room and fills it up. Like, she's a good friend to Puleng, like good friend. Apart from her mouth diarrhea, like, she's always just vomiting words and not knowing how to, like, she just says things. She just talks carelessly. Other than that, one of my favorite characters, she was just so full of life. The way she used to say friend.
What is this, friend? You're so this, friend.
I love the accent. I love the way she spoke. And I just loved her in general. Like, I hope in next season she releases herself from the shackles of Chris, because I'm tired. Chris should just be alone. I think that's that about the youngins. Since we've spoken about Sam's mom, we might as well talk about the parents now. All the parents are just messy as hell. Let's start with Puleng's parents. They were very, very annoying, especially her mom. I feel like her mom was never really attentive to Puleng. Like, she never really tried to have a conversation with her, get into her head and see what was going on. Like, this woman just went straight to, she's doing drugs. Oh my God, she's an addict. Like, bruh, talk to your child, get into her head. Like, I understand that Puleng wasn't really opening up or anything, but like, try. And they were so like, they had mouth. Like, you know, that kind of like, you people are not right. Like, your lives, you guys are less than perfect, like way less than perfect. They were so quick to judge. Oh, Puleng, you're this, you're that, you're that. But like, they have their own past. First of all, mom cheated on the father and had a whole baby. So the baby that went missing, the Pume, which happened to be Fikile, is not even her husband's child. So like, who is the father? I really hope they don't introduce the father for Fikile, because I just don't even think they can stomach that. But anyway, her mom was just like a self-righteous person. And then the annoying thing is, while I was fighting for my girl Puleng, like, oh, look how they're just making you frustrated and they're calling you a drug addict and blah, blah, blah. She went ahead and made herself look like a drug addict, stealing her brother's money from his school. Like, why are they accusing you of something and you're making your actions align with the things they're accusing you of? I just can't. The family has a lot of drama that will definitely get unpacked in season 3. Another thing that pissed me off about Puleng's mom was the way she asked, after Puleng had let them in on the case and let them know that she had found Pume and everything and blah, 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 blah. And she was like, what is she like? Does she love her parents? No, she does not love her parents. She had just been living in the house for 18 years as a neighbor. Occasionally, she calls them mommy and daddy. What kind of stupid question was that? Like, I feel like this woman is going to do something intense in season 3. Like, maybe try to make Fikile want to spend time with her or custody or some stupid shit like that. Like, bruh. Now, let's go to Fikile's mom. She was so intense. Like, she was willing to go through any length to protect her secret, to protect the fact she didn't want them to just take Fikile from her, which is like great mother instinct. Like, she just loves that child so much as her own, which she kind of is because she raised her whole life. But at the same time, like, you stole the child. One day you should have expected that this will come back and bite you in the ass, but like, I guess she didn't think it all the way through. You know, all these rich, powerful people, they really never think anything will come back to bite them in the ass because they can cover everything up and pay for everything to go away. But like, that wasn't the case. And then when I thought she was going to let her husband take the fall for it, because that was the point before, like, I think we all thought that the father and the mother were in on it, but like, we got to find out that it was just the mom. And then I thought she was going to let her husband take the fall for it. That part really was tense. Like, I was so tense, like, oh my gosh, this innocent man, you're going to let him take him to prison until she came out. That whole part was just like tense. I was so scared for Fikile. Like, things were happening to Puleng, but the things that were happening to Fikile were like 10 times more intense. Like, her mom holding a gun, trying to kill herself. Like, so much. Like, she literally had to talk her mom off the edge from killing herself. Like, it was just too much. Too damn much. Like, I was so scared for her in that part. It's just like the drama never stops for them. But like, her mom got what she deserved. But anyway, they've broken out of prison now. So we have to see where that ends. And then for Fikile's dad, like, I feel so bad for this man. Like, him and Sia are like the characters I feel bad for. Like, for Sia, he's very young. He doesn't know what's going on. I hope they enroll him in therapy before it's too late. He's going to grow up really messed up if they don't start addressing like the events that have been happening in his life. Because things are just happening. He doesn't really understand. He doesn't really know. Things are just happening. So I hope they fix him. And then for Fikile's dad, like, bless him, he had no idea that his wife had been lying to him the whole time. He was raising someone else's child that he thought was his child. Like, you know how painful that is? Like, first of all, he should have questioned the fact that they were two dark-skinned parents and their child was quite light. Like, where did she get her light skin from? I don't know. Like, somebody has to ask the question because they are both very dark, and then the baby and their daughter is light. Like, Fikile is quite light. She's not light, but she's light. Like, I don't know, Sha. Anyway, I really feel bad for this man, and that's why I'm hoping they don't introduce a father, because right now we don't know who Fikile's father is. So I'm hoping they don't introduce anyone. I just want him to have that. He and Fikile should remain father and daughter because he is her father. He raised her and no one can take that from him. That's his child. And then KB's parents, his dad, I hate that it made me like his dad. Like, that first bit where they showed his dad and it was telling KB about Puleng, like, oh, this one is a keeper. I was like, oh, KB has a cool dad. Okay, I like this. Like, And then it turned out to be like the baddest bad guy. Moments where he showed as a villain, like, he looked very intense and he looked like he could mess you up and he could kill and do dangerous things. Like, that man just looks dangerous. I pray for all of them because the lengths that man is going to go to make sure these things don't blow over. Like, child, I'm scared. I'm very, very scared for Puleng and her family. I'm scared for them. I also feel like he's a pretty good parent to KB, and that's about that. But like, he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. And also, I need to Google that man. I feel like I've seen him in like an old South African soap opera or something like that. When I'm done with this video, I'll actually go and look into it because I can't get it out of my head. I don't know why I haven't done that already, but like, yeah. Let's move to KB's mom. So basically they introduced KB's mom at the end of the season, and it was just like they tried to make her this fierce bad woman, like to make us see like, okay, bad news has come to town. And she was like, so tell me about this girl called Puleng. That part was so dramatic. The part where you feel fearful for Puleng. I do feel fear for Puleng. Like, I'm very scared for her. Like, you know that after they showed KB's mom, like, we know that bad news is in town and Puleng is not safe. I hope nothing bad happens to her. Like, I feel like she's going to get badly injured in the new season because that woman doesn't look like she's playing around. So I guess we'll have to see what happens there because, oh my God, I'm shaking. Let's talk about the triangles real quick. So the first triangle is not really a triangle. It's like Fikile, KB, and Puleng. I like that at the end of the show, they kind of, like, there was no animosity. Everything was good between everyone. Even though Puleng found out that KB had kissed Fikile and everything, like, everybody still seemed pretty cool at the end of everything. I guess the two girls have bigger fish to fry than boy. So they didn't make it a big deal. And I like that. That's one thing I like about this show. I mean, they didn't really dwell on little stupid things like that. And I really appreciated them for that because that would have been an annoying, dragged out drama like over a boy. So the next triangle I want to talk about is KB, Wade, and Puleng. This one is really annoying because this triangle only exists in KB's head and in Wade's head. Notice how Puleng is not even a part of anything. So Puleng loves KB, obviously more attracted to KB, obviously wants to be with KB, and she's in love with KB. I mean, she lost her virginity to the guy. Then there's Wade. Wade likes Puleng, wants to be with Puleng, and Puleng is, I feel like he's a little bit obsessed because the way he jumps, like even when she has said, okay, you can't do it, no problem, and walks away, he will still find a way to just do it for her. Like, he's almost too infatuated with Puleng that I feel like he's almost borderline unhealthy. So yeah, the triangle exists in both their heads, and then KB lets the securities get the best of him, and then it starts to fight with Wade and then Puleng. And now at the end, Wade and Puleng are supposed to be together. They've gone on their first dates and everything. In the very last episode, she kisses KB, and I like how Fikile came and, you know, gave them some privacy, shut the door, like, do your thing. Like, that was kind of looking out for her sister, like having her sister's back, even though she didn't know that Puleng was low-key two-timing. But obviously, Puleng and KB never had, like, their business was never really finished. So it was very reckless of her to have thought that she could date Wade. And it was very reckless. Like, Wade literally has no self-respect because obviously this girl just got a relationship with this guy. You're not telling me you are that thick to think that she's just going to be over him just like that and then move on to you. Like, I wish you would have just told her, like, I sort out your thing with KB, like, sort out your feelings, and then let's just continue to be friends, and then we'll see where we can, if it ever happens for us, then it happens. Like, that's a level-headed way of thinking. But it's like, Wade doesn't just think when it comes to Puleng. As long as he can have Puleng, that's all that matters. And that's why I said he's a little bit obsessed, because if he was a normal thinking guy, you would think about it like, okay, she just left this guy. There's no way she's just moving on to me like that. Puleng too, like, she should have given herself some space, some room to think before just jumping on Wade. It almost feels like her investigation has ended. She had nothing going on right now. All she had was Wade. She and KB were no longer together, and then she just, like, allowed it. Anyway, we'll see what happens there, because now she has kissed both of them. She kissed both of them in one night, and we really don't know what's going to stem up from there, but we'll see. We'll see. And the next triangle is Tahira, Wade, and and Puleng. This one is a very annoying triangle. I just want Wade to leave her alone. Preferably if Wade can just be alone, because I don't think he doesn't have his head straight. He hasn't sorted things out yet. He should just stay on his own. And Puleng as well, like, when she saw that her the investigation or her relationship with Wade was kind of like causing a strain between them, I feel like she can't say she didn't see it. She should have actually taken a step back and whatnot, being that she's the one that even brought it to Wade's attention that Tahira liked him. Like, she should have given them space to explore, but like, she was just always there, obviously. But like I said, I don't want him for either of them. Like, I'd rather Puleng finds another person or something else, or goes back to KB. But like, nah, Wade should just sort out his priorities before he has anyone else. Like, Tahira deserves so much better. So yeah. The next triangle I want to talk about is a funny one. Is the triangle between Zama, Chris, and what's his face? I've forgotten his name. It was just so stupid. Like, Chris says he's pansexual, which means he just feels emotionally. Like he feels love just emotionally, not according to your physical, basically. So he equally likes the guy and Zama. Just so stupid. I'm sorry. And the fact that both of them allowed him string them into that nonsense was just the funniest part. Like, I think Zama, a lot of times she questioned herself, like, I am down bad. Like, how did I ever let myself get here? Like, bruh, yeah. But now I think the triangle is kind of like a square, because there's now Wendy in the mix. I really hope Wendy doesn't get herself involved too much in this thing and get herself hurt with this nonsense, because I'd rather they just leave it as, I don't know, I'd rather they leave him with the guy, because that guy seemed to really like Chris. You guys remember shortly before, like, the last scene where he was making out with Wendy, he and the guy hooked up in the bathroom. So it's like there's kind of unfinished business there. I don't know about him and Zama, but like, I hope my girl Wendy is not setting herself up for premium heartbreak. Let's talk about predictions for season 3. I feel like KB is going to be on his detective stuff this season, because towards the end of season 2, they kind of showed us that he was really interested in finding out the role his mom had to play, his mom, or basically his parents have to play in everything that's happening with the child abduction. Get to see the dynamics of the new normal for Fikile, like her new family, and how she will relate with the Kumalos and Puleng, and like I feel like their relationship is going to be better this season though. That's Puleng and Fikile, because towards the end we kind of saw that, I mean, where she looked out for her, shut the door when she was making out with KB. I feel like we'll see them be on some real sister-ish. Hopefully they'll give us a reason for Reece and Chris in this new season. Also give Fikile some closure on why Sam disappeared on her, and what else? Yeah, we don't know what is going to happen with Puleng. Hopefully they don't even try to make Sean Wade happen, because it's like, stop it. I also feel like next season we'll get a backstory on the parents, because it's like so much has kind of gone down there, like with them finding Puleng's father's name on that checkbook. Like, did he really sell the child because he knew the child wasn't his? Like, who did the mother sleep with? What was the story of their marriage, that she cheated? Like, what exactly went down? Like, how did it all go down? Why is KB's mom so crazy, and why is she such a bad person? Like, so much is going to unfold in the new season. And then the way that last episode ended with KB's mom looking for Puleng, we just know that Puleng is going to be in a lot of trouble this season, and KB is going to get caught in the crossfire. So I'm really scared for them. I am, but like, this is the drama and content we signed up for. So yeah, we'll be here to watch the whole thing play out, because I really can't wait. That's that for this video. I really enjoyed unpacking this video. Like, you know, when you watch shows, you just always have like so many opinions about the characters and the things that happen on the show, and you just feel the need to share them. And I feel like I really just got it out of my system talking about it on here. So let me know what you guys think about Blood and Water if you've watched it. We'll be back on this couch again for season 3. Okay, the other shows I won't talk about, but then we'll see about all that. For now, Blood and Water was the one that was banging on my frontal lobe. Just had to talk about it. So yeah, thank you so much guys for watching, and let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know your predictions are for season 3, and yeah, just let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that has been unpacked here. Let me know in the comment section. And if you're not already subscribed and you've watched to this point, please click the subscribe button, click the like button as well, and share this share this to anyone who you think might like to see this. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, let's get it together.